Hello, and welcome to another episode of my Rebel Inc. Let's Play. This is Northstar. I hope you folks are doing well, taking care of each other, be kind to yourselves. For those new to my channel, welcome. For those returning, welcome back. Very briefly for the new folks, I'm disabled with long COVID. Terrible disease, leaves me unable to work, leaves me unable to think very quickly and often trouble focusing. So I do apologize that sometimes I lose my train of thought, talk kind of slow. I'm exhausted all the time, particularly now. I have trouble sleeping normal hours too, so that always adds a layer of sleep deprivation. Now that I do have the Dollars and Disasters DLC when it went on sale, I was able to finally do Distant Steppe with the tank commander. Noxious to do that. But now it's just Pistachio Forest, and hopefully I get the achievement. I don't think there's any other maps combos left. Since I don't think I need the Billionaire. If I do, I'll get very familiar with the Billionaire in a lot of maps in Brutal. But my goal is to beat the first 5 maps with every governor on Brutal. I've done Saffron Fields with Civil Servant on Mega Brutal once, looks like, and I think I attempted some other combination. Oh yeah, I also did the Banker on Mega Brutal and Saffron. Anyhow, gonna have to do a little redesigning, obviously, of my advisors. Ooh. Garrisons cost more than $2. This is good anyways. But military recruiter to be quite useful. I usually can't afford the rep of extending by much. And even if I can, usually the rep is barely worth the extra deployment time. So it's only marginally beneficial. Whereas this gives me a bunch of extra deployment time for a very small amount of money. Hopefully the Wickless politician reduces rep loss due to the lack of stability. Let's give this a shot. I could also try the corruption consultant build. I'll do the remote specialist because as a general, I can actually get a national soldier reasonably early who's not in a freaking tank. So here goes nothing. I may have to go fairly into debt to stabilize its zones. The credit manager will help. This is looking at where the HQ is. I mean, not the HQ, the green zones. Not great, though, if I manage to stabilize that forest area. Won't be terrible. You often don't have intel on it, even if... So let's put the HQ here. So I'll be sure to know what's going on. At least one of the forest tiles will still have to reach Bravo Lima. $11. I'm pretty sure that would go up if... I'm going to go right into effective procurement. So that I can keep corruption down. Really, -3 already. Don't even have a rep meter yet. So I doubt it's too much of an issue there. Spend all that. Hmm. 6, 6, 4. I should probably wait for core healthcare though. Increases inflation a little less, and or actually go right into infrastructure on this map. Especially with my HQ here, I'll need dirt roads early. Do that as soon as I don't need to risk any debt for it. Space things a little to reduce the effect on inflation. There we go. Dirt roads. Help stuff for a while faster. Refugee crisis predicted. Bloody A. Let's there we go. Go into a little debt for this. Repair land. Only -$1. Rep is quite useful. I think this actually rolls out faster than expand healthcare, so I'll do personal health program first. Might be identical. Might not. Now expand healthcare. So yeah, there's some other nonsense out there around long COVID. People who are like liars, scammers, basically. I remember reading this stupid thing. Yeah, this guy claiming that he had long COVID and his description of symptoms, they had long COVID and his description of symptoms didn't quite add up. It's not at all exactly what most people describe or my own experiences with it. And he was like, and then I started thinking I was getting better and doing military training, and then I felt better. It's like, that's not what happens with long COVID. That's not at all how post-exertional malaise works. If you push yourself too hard, you don't get better, even if you have the right mindset. Your body crashes. I've experienced this myself, where I thought I could handle something, or was just having a really good day, or trying to push it to see if there was any way. Refugees being rehoused there. See if there's any way where I could somehow help my way to getting better. For instance, after my brother's wedding, I climbed a mountain, and what should have been a 3-hour hike ended up being a 6-hour hike, and then I could barely get out of bed for over a month later. I don't mean just I hurt a little bit. I mean I was severely debilitated for over a month after that. And a different time I tried doing a bunch of like swim exercise and similar. Though it took a little longer to build up of doing that. You cannot just will your way to being out there with long COVID, and I'm pretty sure this guy was lying about having ever had the disease to begin with. Which is a thing. There's people out there who just lie. They don't care. Since there's electricity concern, they take advantage of this to try and get some fame or maybe they think that if they do this, and on behalf of, you know, those with the money and power, help essentially gaslight very sick people, that there'll be some kind of a reward for them. Because the ruling class would very much like to pretend that long COVID isn't real. I mean, the US government is not doing shit to invest in a cure. They're putting a few million here and there, mostly just to describe disease better. Probably the politicians hoping they'll get something they can claim the disease isn't real, but all the research is, of course, proving more and more it's a very problematic disease that there has to be research on a real cure, and there's no money for treatment research, hardly. A pitiful amount. Some of this money was supposed to go that way, but just got diverted to different types of descriptive research. Cleverly designed, because what's being given out is not enough to actually come up with treatments. Anyways, literacy rates soar. Thanks to Hopeful Fire's recent literacy drive, the number of adults able to read and write in the region has risen by 44%. Went here because I knew I couldn't stop the zone from being taken over. It's important to stop zones being taken over because when they've been taken over multiple times, you lose a lot of rep. Not going to want the insurgents to hold that zone, but if I go here, if they attack in the zone, I can at least stop it. Right, I need that intel and I need it fast. So, troopers guides. Okay, and highways. This is zone. Need stuff to roll out quick. And I need to get around the map quick. Yeah, sorry about that. I can cross here and the garrison will help with that. Combat. These only get more expensive the more stuff you run. I have to go into debt. Oh, it did end up on the zone. Need the combat sensor buff. Prison form considered. Do 4 form, but I'll wait as long as possible because of debt. Tough fight there, but I won. Barely. Come on. Hopefully I can stop the zone from being taken. It's going to be tight. Going to lose some rep probably from debt, but less than I'll gain from that. Probably can't push those guys out of there as much as I like to. Let's go where I have the support of a garrison. Urban outreach. Still this. There's actually going to be no one guarding this, isn't there? School supplies, because it can be rolled out fast. Longer controlled. Cool. Back across the river. tight and not lose that zone. Alright, now it's Teze. Worried. School expansion. Still not enough civ stuff. There's a camp. Polio eradication. Need remote outreach. Bloody A. Another coalition soldier. Can't quite keep up with all this. Oh shoot, they're not going to get there in time. Oh, I don't think they tote the zone before, so... Did they? It was this one, right? Gotta push him back. Gotta push him back. Roll outreach. Gotta roll stuff out faster. Come on. They intentionally so walks them actually leaving the zones when you won. Gah. Tuberculosis eradication. Starting to lose her up to debt. Need airstrikes here. Need to hit that camp in the mounds. Darn it. Alright, universal justice. There goes the camp, finally. Airstrike. I have no choice but to cover up. I was winning that fight and I already had a soldier there. What the heck? You kidding me? Cover up fails? Oh, damn it. That might have cost me a game. Should have saved or something. Okay, the rules engagement. I'm getting too many civilians. Okay. What the heck? They're jumping to capturing zones that I have units in that I am winning the fight. Fuck this. Game is intentionally trying to screw me this run. And I also need to be more aggressive about going to debt. Sometimes it just decides it wants you to lose, so... And those were not great places to start with green. And as much as I like being there, it was taking too long for my troops to roll out. At least it's easy to coordinate insurgents in this force with this start. If I give you a little inflation, this will shoot up. Go more tall than I did before. Boom. Delay district reps a little to focus on getting stuff in zones I already can see. The game loves to spread initiatives widely, but that's not what you want. Infrastructure discussions. Doesn't contribute very much to inflation at all. It's a lot of inflation though on the roads. There we go. More reasonable. Train this early so I can start on the national soldiers early. I do lose support, but I don't lose deployment time until they're pulled. Went on to debt. Spacing things to try and keep inflation from going up too much. Do electricity. Faster initiative rollout. Alright, district reps because I need. This. Care not a ton about the debt this early. Later it gets more punishing. Trying to spread stuff out a month apart where I can. Really? Spawning in the green zone. Restart. I refuse to accept that. It's terrible RNG. Just gonna pull this bogus. I'll send the unit right up there. Structure discussions, some space stuff a little. Let's grab water supplies. Straps. Outreach office. Main roads. Water expansion. International assistance, because I still need more Civ stuff, but I can't keep doing that at this point. I'm starting to lose a lot of rep to it. The refugee crisis again. This rate soar. Repair land. Gain 2 rep from it. Almost as much as lost through the deficit stuff. And there's the insurgency. Of course, it just happens to be shortly after the U.S. invaded Iraq, basically. In 2003. Let's see. Worst case would be a camp here, which you wouldn't be able to see. We need to briefly visit the zone. I guess it's the same spot as before. Let's grab urban outreach. Need to stabilize that area quick. Surgeon camp destroyed. No charities. He's being rehoused in Echo Tango. That helps me stabilize the area. Good. School supplies, because that's the whole concern. Limit access for charities. Otherwise, I get out of control. Inflation. Jobs protests, so I need job discussions. Charities will probably do one of these things. School expansion. And any education concerns. I need electricity next, though. Let's see if I'm lucky the camp is here. There's no insurgents yet. Still $11 on that. Local road infrastructure. Electricity. It's got some electricity concerns. Universal justice. Prisoner forms. Must immediately after I did that. Ah. Only because the garrison there I can. Or form 2 rep. $9. It's going to cost me some more rotation. There, because I'm going to need to do militia and intel. Here, maybe I can slow that zone's capture. Nope, too late. There then. Rural outreach. Zone I most need to stabilize is rural. Might get the vocational training. Yep. So cool. Enough for interpreters and guide with this without going into debt. With intel. Got sensors on the drones. I need airstrikes. I can't reach any other way. Still no one there? Let's try to go there then. Airstrike time. And local militia. That's why I was getting all that intel. So I could route militia here, there. I can stop that from being taken. However, I can move in behind them. Oh, no, they're headed this way. Gah! Really? Cancel. What? That was instant! What? I hate that bull. Not where I wanted that, really, but does mean I can afford to do that. Ah. Time to go on the offensive. I can't be everywhere at once, can they? Really? Heavy ordnance. Oh wait, I'm gonna win in golf, Mike. Fuel endurance and occasional combat sensors. Attack. Really? Even with the airstrikes. Precision munitions, the heavy ones there. Let's get livestock development. Really? Small militia here, which might be able to deal with that one fighter. Need more soldiers. Not gonna be able to stop that. This is actually a bad location. Oh no, we can help stabilize the zone quicker. Since the locomotive should not succeed in Bravo Mike. Oh, there we go. Job done. Professional travel logistics or even attempt to go Delta Tango. And doesn't seem to actually be a... God. Alright, let's go here. Really? That quick? Urgh. Let's do anti-corruption then. So one unit going there. Oh no, it's two. Corruption's out of control. Worth going into debt to deal with it right now. Corruption gets a little less bad the more green zones you have, at least the effect of it on rep does. The more green zones you have, say less. That'll freeze the corruption loss. This isn't going well. If I were to get the National Surge event, maybe I could win. Can't win without that, though. The cell pressure. Well, still might not be winnable. This is a little better. Come on. Help here. Get this fight over. There we go. desperately need dirt roads. Delay going to that as long as possible because the rep is so darn low. I know if the insurgents fight better, insurgent capability affects their spawn rate. Ah! This again. Oh, they're not defending here. Why did they attack there? Need the PR office. 10 rules engagement. I'm getting too many hits. About attachments. National soldiers are too weak. God, can't be everywhere. $12 for next national soldier unit. Doesn't seem to be any insurgents here. Ah. Right. Artillery upgrades. Nationals. Now national soldiers. Not the cost is back down. And rights because I need support. Budget will go up if I can stabilize more zones as well. So. Let's double check for camps in annoying areas. Things are starting to stabilize. National arms upgrade. We really need the national soldiers to be tougher. How? Insurgents take control of that zone. I had a... Alright, clearly I need more security. Really? 15? They can get there way faster. Rebuilding the garrison that was apparently destroyed before. Even though I won the fight here, somehow the garrison got destroyed, which is ridiculous. Send those guys home and need the support. Let me guess, this gets instantly captured. You. Anti-AUD vehicle upgrades. Still not enough of a difference. National travel logistics. Pretty much every possible upgrade made to the National Soldiers. Still struggling. Drone rotation, since drones, like airstrikes, do not cause civilian hits. Their combat sensors add a little strength. Okay. Increase the pay of the National Soldiers. Police expansion. Security. Rural outreach too. Okay, police in the rural zones. Like here and here where it's badly needed. Can't keep paying civilians, so precision munitions. Dirt roads. There's like there and there. Highways. Threats equal rep. Rep equals funding. Study of insect species finds 30% now endangered. Better roads. And human train system. So these coalition troops stop aggravating the locals so much. Civil assistance for the same reason. Let's see if these guys can manage to advance. Need one last coalition unit. Send these guys home. It's gonna be a hard fight, but I can win there. Need a lot of air support. Make it happen. Eradication to start bringing down hostility. In these areas. Tuberculosis eradication, same thing. Advanced sanitation. Jobs initiatives are far more effective when hostility is low. Power station, improve with oversight. No outreach. Trying to stabilize these areas. Garrison for security. New National Air Force. This shared nonsense. National troops strong. Strategic communications, get more out of all my initiatives. Dramatic fall in child mortality rate. Civil support for the garrisons. Places like Gulf Juliet. Cool. Civil integration. Delta uniform. Crop development. New police chief. God, this guy doing playing this F1 thing. I don't know if you see it pop up, and the guy's like a freaking Zionist, irritatingly too. The Christian Zionist bees literally gone around sitting there. Oh, I drew the line is. I'm like, oh my god. Well, at least he's not such an asshole. Won't talk to people who disagree with him, but some people are just. Security, huge hit to support, unfortunately. Winning is winning here. Airstrikes in case of a camp that pops up in a green zone. That can happen. Regional census to actually see it if it does. Roads improved to isolate communities. Speaking of which, remote subsidies. 15 minutes. But yeah, I mean, literally, this guy's saying outdraw the line is Israel. He's literally just talking about can't have any criticism of them. Other forms of U.S. imperialism, sure, but there, these people, it's practically a religious thing. I mean, it is a religious thing. You got these nutcases who think that it's gonna bring about the second coming of. Like, you're insane. Makes sense for some Jewish people that they buy into that, even though it's basically a fascist ideology that plays off of Jewish religious sentiments. Zionism, it's not inherent, it's not the same thing as being Jewish in any sense. People always like try and label it that, but it's completely disingenuous bullshit. Completely disingenuous bullshit. That's why there's Jewish Voices for Peace. Heck, that's why a best friend in college used to have some rather cynical jokes about Israel, let's just say. He's never willing to outright say much, but that was a different era. You may not have known where I stood on the issue. But he was quite give land to the refugees. Quite critical and some kind of the way a comedian has this like sense of humor where they know something sucks. But I mean, that was the way he coped with everything. So he would joke about anything. Highways 2. It's not many zones it can go into, but still. Faster transit. Let's grab commercial support. Top Oscar stabilize. Gotta hurry the heck up. New companies open for business. Yeah, great. Yeah, but the fact you have some Christians are more supportive of Israel than many Jews is ridiculous. These people, like I said, they think that, like, if Israel reestablishes control of this area, the temple would be rebuilt and Jesus come again. No. These are idiots who don't understand what the book of Revelations was about. It was a metaphor for the Roman Empire. In our era, if anything, would be a criticism of the American Empire or the British Empire before us. It was a criticism of imperialism that was wrapped in religious metaphor so that people who were not Christians would not be able to execute someone for it. They wouldn't know what it meant or realize. Like the 666 thing, that was literally an anagram for Nero, who was an infamous Roman emperor who had died not long before Revelations was written. Jesus around today, he would be thinking his people were supporting genocide because they think of bringing back and disowning them because they are not good people. And they're not going to get some reward for doing this. Doing it to charity. Help as many people as I can. At this point, I'm just running up the score, but industrial support. Fall elections. Our reputation. Demand further concessions in the peace deal. Jobs protest ends. New park approved with oversight. Oversight to try and keep corruption down. Agricultural subsidies. Let's reject this peace deal for massive rep gain. That's not cause surgeons to respawn or something. That would suck. Telecoms. Neglected that earlier. Should have done it. But it's not very effective if you don't do it early. And it's like, do I have time to wait for this to pay for itself? Something becomes exponentially more effective the more zones have it already. Yeah. I mean, viewers, some of you are... I apologize you're offended. The point is not to offend, but to point out the immense harm and hypocrisy of this kind of stuff. Alright, score only 15,172. 139 rep. Well, whatever. I won. With the overpowered dollars and disasters advisors, it was possible, and a little luck and a tiny bit of safe scumming. But that essentially just equated to doing the map over and over and over until I got really good RNG otherwise. So with the math that this game luck makes things at least easier. And the way how shitty some of these achievements are to earn, and my long COVID screwed me over, and frick, living in a society that seems to think it's okay to not invest in trying to cure long COVID. I mean, Trump is cutting half the medical research budget, like across the board. It's with his like sweeping tax cuts the Republican Congress is doing. I mean, he's leading them. It's not actually Trump. We tend to equate to president. It's actually a whole bunch of shitty, evil senators and congressmen. But congressmen so far, but Senate soon too. Anyways, the point is, I don't think the Senate has approved that budget yet, have they? Might have. Anyways, hope you folks enjoyed the video. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. And may you always find a guiding star to lead you home. Till next time, this is Northstar. Adieu.